So let us start the fourth session of Ruhaniyat-e Am second edition. We in thus, me Somali and with me MF Hussain. And with us, we have today a wonderful artist, I must say, because he deals with so many art forms. He's one filmmaker, he's one dramatist, he's one musician, and above all, a wonderful person. So welcome to this show, Saimir Bajo. And we are very much eager to listen from you, because this is the festival. Ruhaniyat-e Am is the festival of migrating music. And when we were introduced, we talked a lot about this, migration and music and all the human migration. And we did the kind of history that is yet thriving through our musical notes and other art forms. So that has been one wonderful occasion to know you, to know about your art form, to know about your journey. So first of all, I'd like to ask you, rather request you, to tell the story of your own journey as the artist.
Thank you, Somali, for such a very nice words. I don't know if I really deserve, but okay, I will try to tell in short my journey, my story. Well, my first love, let's say, was music, and when I was little, I was like 5 years and a half, and because my brother Arben, which became he was playing clarinet like Benny Goodman, and my father played also harmonic, and so I was also very interested to start with the music, and so I go to start with violin. So I was studying violin, classical violin, in my hometown, Girocastro in Albania. And basically, my dream was to become a musician. And well, let's say music always is the first art which you can get everywhere. So I think that was like a very very good luck, thanks to my father, because he was putting. Oh, we was like three brothers, and we all play an instrument. My second brother play guitar, and also our children all play instruments and are artists. Let's say in music or in visual arts, painting, etc. So basically, it was like the influence of my father in the beginning, but then after we each of us take our journey, and the journey is like it's in two ways. One is like first when I study violin, after I have some other desires, which was like languages. So that was I study Italian language, and that was like the other vehicle which bring me to the other journey, which is the migration. So I think that this is a journey. It's not just that we are not, let's say, a classical immigrant. Even I lived before in Italy and for 5 years, and that was my first emigration to Italy. Such a great country for culture and for music, film, art, architecture, even food, and everything. So I left Albania in 1992 to Bergamo and then to Milano in North Italy, and there I study and I work also in the library. And in the meantime, I was studying at the film school in
Okay.
Milano. And yeah, And so from Milano, from Italy, I in that period in Italy, maybe because of this personal journey. I mean, like an immigrant, it was my first interest for cinema, because before my desires was like music or languages and literature, but never I thought about filmmaking. But because I think that this journey, which was not easy and not but it was good, because it was like opening to the world, because I come from the fall of the communism, of the dictatorship that we live. So I come to Italy first, like a first journey. Then after around 5 years in Italy, I moved to Czech Republic to follow my dream, to study film in the Film Academy of Prague, which is one of the most famous and most prestigious in the world, and famous. So basically, uh, I think that the music was the first element which bring me also to the cinema.
Yeah.
So after studying in Prague, I remained here because I create a family, and also I was working for independently, but also in the beginning also for Czech television and some media. But basically, I'm an independent filmmaker, and I work like a film professor for around 18 years. So I teach other students from all over the world, and I have students also many from India. So basically, this long journey, which it started, let's say, from the age of 6. Now I'm 48. I will be 49 very soon. So it is like it's something which is like somehow connected. Yeah. So it all started with my hometown in Albania, with my family, with my love for art, and that was that and somehow now that I have this long journey experience. Now I'm putting the music into the film, not only just like an element which is naturally in the film, which I always
Yeah.
use it, and it's easy for me because sometimes for a director it's difficult to understand, the music. So I have this luck that when I want to make a scene or I want to make a shot, first I feel the music, then after I come to the picture, which is a good advantage, and also for the sensibility, because the music it's a universal language which don't
Yes.
have any barrier, you know.
That that
So
is it.
so basically, now I just shoot a short film, half an hour, which is about my childhood, which is called The Violinist, and it's a
Mhm.
memory of the time of the communism, and with his family, which was playing jazz, and which was prohibited, and my, let's say, the element of the memory or the journey in the past, which coming to today, it's basically on this film, but also in most of my films, because I think that uh, it it's a natural thing. It's nothing. I tell a story which is so personal, but in the same time it's universal, but also it doesn't remain to the documentaristic biography, because it doesn't have sense. It goes to a higher level. It means that the film or the story or the music or the acting, let's say, all these complex things which are in the film, including the music, it is something which talk to people, like, and it doesn't matter where they live and what is their culture. Yeah. So I, I I have the tendency to have more a personal or authorial approach, because I think in every music or in film or art, people are looking, let's say, not for the mainstream. People are looking for something specific, cultural, historical, or even personal to
Yeah.
share. So, so I think this there are two parallels in my life. First is the art, which I discovered, let's say, by the childhood, and it develops, and it will develop even in the next years, because it's never ending, your journey and your knowledge. You every day you learn something new. And the second journey, which is basically the main journey for the life, is my migration
Mhm.
in different countries, but in different cultures. It means that this migration, it's not something which is an obstacle or losing the identity, because I have my strong identity, but it's enriching you with the culture of the place where you migrate, and you are making a mix of the best things that you find in your culture and in the
Yes.
culture of the other. Uh,
Yes.
so I think that one problem that we have, all migrants, let's say the real migrants, is that we are sometimes in between two cultures or more cultures. And so let's say that we are, we see the things before, because we have a distance with that new culture, or with even our own culture. So that is a very good thing, and that we use it in the art, in the music, in the film, in other art, and that is advantage, a big advantage, as must say, because you don't stay only in your own little mentality or culture. It doesn't matter if you are from a big country or small country. You don't remain to the small mentality or the average. But we have a, let's say, sometimes it's difficult for us, because we feel like that we are in between more. Let's say, if I can see it visually, let's say, sometimes I feel like in front of a traffic light, and in this traffic light, you know where is the green, where is the yellow, and where is the green,
Yeah.
but you know your direction. But since you are in between your culture and the other culture,
Yeah.
then you suffer. You suffer because it's much easy for somebody which is eradicated only in his own culture, and somehow doesn't see, doesn't see. So it's kind of ignorant in that bubble. But when you
Mhm.
see, and you see it from another perspective, even your own culture, then it's something which it's painful. It's beautiful in one side, because you have the advantage to look beforehand, and you can use this creativity, and it's amazing. But in the other sense, you have a sense of loss sometimes, because you miss your country, you miss the atmosphere, you miss the people, your own people. And so sometimes I feel, I must be true, that sometimes I feel that I'm foreigner even in my own country. Even I
Yeah.
speak the language, even I know this culture, I belong to this culture. I never try to get out from that culture. On the contrary, I integrate this culture to the European culture and film, and I represent that somehow, not like some representative of state, or it's not a mission, but I present it with my being, with my art, with my behavior. So I bring this Albanian culture, let's say, to Czech Republic, Italy, or other country, even to India. But when I go back to Albania, sometimes I have the feeling that also in Albania I am a foreigner. And somebody can say, "Oh, it's not possible because you are Albanian." No, I think that our individual, artistic, but also life experience, it goes in a different direction, because when I see, for example, when I return now to Albania, I meet friends which was from the childhood when I was shooting the film. It was amazing. It was it was big empathy and friendship and very nice. But when we see our story, we have totally a different story because some of them remain in the hometown or in Albania and never move, or some move but they come back. So we are from the same, let's say, place, but we are not anymore the same because we evolve. They evolve, and I also evolve. Sometimes we meet with our thoughts. Sometimes we are too far away. So yeah, the migration is it's something I don't see it like a negative thing. I think the migration it's all time, and it's our luck that today, but even in all time people have migrate inside the country and have migrate for necessity, for basic things like economical, but also political or both, or for different reasons. So I think that people which are in Europe, for example, sometimes they forget that our story, the story of Europe, I'm talking about, is it's a story of migration. It's not a new phenomena that it born now or yesterday. It is all our culture is based on that element of migration. And sometimes I'm very sorry for people which have a narrow-minded and they see the migration like a threat. In fact, the migration, like it doesn't matter if it's a basic migration or if it's a migration of artists, which is a different thing for some reason. I think this brings to the country or to the, let's say, to the new place some good things that they didn't have. And we migrants get also very good chances or culture, and we have to fight for it. We have to earn it because if for a Czech or a normal European, it has to just apply to the system, a migrant like me or other people have to have more will and work hard and try to educate and to get the best to confirm the fact that you are like them or better. So you have to be better because this is always I must say that I hated always this idea that I have to confirm something that I'm worth something. This is but this is the condition of the migrant. It doesn't matter in what field you are. If you are a musician or if you are a, I don't know, you are a waiter or you are something else. I think I think we when you are in the status of immigration, in general, I mean, I can't say specifically, but in general, you have always that you have to convince the natives that you are so brave and so good so they can accept you. Which I think this is something that they should accept us as we are because we move as they have their grandparents or parents or other generation have moved from one place to this place. So I saw that even in Italy, when I was living in North Italy, it was kind of absurd for me that the most narrow-minded people and racist was the son or the daughter of the migrant, sometimes of the Italian migrant workers, which go to work in Switzerland or in Germany. So that is something that maybe is because of kind of complex
Yeah.
that this generation wanted to cancel or not see their social background or their past. So that is a misunderstanding in the culture. So and today we have the same problem here in Europe and in Czech Republic, for example, that people, especially in last year, now we have the pandemia problem, so it's like a little bit out of focus, this theme. But before 2 or 3 years, and I even write a script that I want to make a movie with Czech Republic and Albania and Italy, and I have a story that I want to make a long feature film. It's about these differences, where the characters, where the people, let's say, because of ignorance, because of lack of education, because of sometimes of the media, which put us all in a in a place that we are a threat, some phobia from the foreigner or from the refugees or from the migrants, for the difference, let's say, for the people which are different. Then there was here, for example, even demonstrations where participate even the president of the republic and part of the politicians into the anti-migrants manifestation. That was for me crazy. So in that moment, I decided to write this story with a Czech friend. And now we are in process of making this movie, because this is a story, especially for the young generation. Because sometimes the racism or the anti-immigrant feeling is from the older generation.
Very
Sometimes,
true.
most of
Very
the
true.
time. Oh, yeah. But today we have problem also with the younger generation. So I think the younger generation, for example, here in Czech Republic, it's more open and more interested in this, let's say, multicultural. But even though there is a part of society, including young people, which have this approach that they are, let's say, yeah, they are more safe or into their little world or their culture. So our job is to make people aware that the freedom that we have, or the fact that we have all these elements of democracy, which and this let's say, you know, social benefits that are, especially here in Europe, in the Western Europe, we don't need to take it for granted, because they are always in threat. And if we don't talk about it, if we don't do some action, or somebody with art, somebody with demonstration, somebody with some political agenda, why not? Or with intellectual, writing and etc. etc. If we don't take some action, then our voices will be never heard, because like the tendency of the politic is that to put, for example, the problems under the table, and this problem exists. So, as I say, like the fact that we are migrants, or let's say we come from another culture, it is a benefit for these countries that we live. It's not a threat. It's not a problem. It is something which gives more power to the culture of those countries, and it gives also economical benefit, because we don't forget that most of the hard jobs in Western Europe, let's say, but even in America or everywhere, is made by those migrants, which do the jobs that the natives uh, don't like to do. So yeah.
You said very important, a few very important words actually, important for us in this, because when we started doing migrating music, when I was searching for the root of this music that can bind us actually. Perhaps, I don't know whether you can remember or not, we talked about the journey of Alexander from Greece to this part of this globe. The thing is, we primarily we found the sense of loss whenever it is migration. There is a kind of sense of loss with him. whoever is migrating, because you have to leave your either your home or your family or your own things that you love, at least, or at least a sense of comfort that you belong to, so that you have to live. And this second important word is synthesis. So this synthesis actually initiated this, Hellenic culture became Hellenistic, and throughout the world, we Indians are trying to, evolve one. The third word is evolve, that you already introduced. Evolve. Evolving is a very important word in terms of migration. So we are trying to evolve one genre called migrating music, so that, and the fourth one you used already, that is to educate the younger generation, to make them learn, actually, to make them feel the power of synthesis, or the thing that can bind us, actually, or the sense of migration within. So this we try to do through our music, and particularly this festival is dedicated to that purpose only, reconstructing Silk Road, to know our roots, and not only that, to celebrate the language of art through communication. I mean, the medium of communication, as because all other languages, we have all different languages and different things, different habits and all. But what can bind us is the art forms that can be used as a medium of language, a medium of communication. So I wish to know that you deal with a form of art that involves so many other art forms also. So of course, and you are working on multinational levels, you are working with people from different countries. So do you feel that your art form is actually the medium of communication, barring your own language or their language, that way?
I didn't understand the last sentence. That what it makes is like that I work with other
From
people from
different
all over the world.
countries,
Yeah.
people from different countries with different languages, they work with you. So
Yes.
how do you communicate? What is your magic?
Well, I don't have any magic, but I myself, I think that when you are working with people from all over the world, and I have that luck, let's say, because here in Czech Republic, for example, we have
Yeah.
the film industry. For example, we have a lot of yeah, multicultural like background. First, I have it at the school because I have students from all over the world. So that is a really big luck for me, like a film professor. But then when you work in the film industry, we are all mixed people from different regions or different countries. And in the film, like in the music, or like in art, it doesn't matter where you come from. Important is like for me, like a director, is to combine all the talent of each of the individuals, and can be from India,
Yeah.
America, China, Czech Republic, Germany, Albania, whoever, or yeah, or Greece. So it's not about the nationality; it's about the the talent, the craft,
Right.
the knowledge.
Yeah.
It's about the also the emotional element that we work with. Because, for example, uh,
Yeah.
when you are doing a film with international people, of course you have
Yeah.
so the members of the crews uh, have to adapt to the way of the working of with all the group. So, for example, when we shoot one film one some time ago in Albania, it was like a co-production with France, Germany, Bulgaria, Albania, Italy, and so it was like a like totally like different nations, each of them have their specific or rhythm in the work, or and so when I work, for example, I know that in the first week of the shooting, it's a big battle for us. Why?
Yeah.
Because the first week we need to, each of us, to adapt to the specific way of working from each of these nations, of this country. It means that what I do
Mm-hmm.
is that in the first moment, when we start, for example, for shooting, well, of course, it's the best to know these people before, not just you go there and you go to work there professionally. That is very important in every art, but specifically in the cinema, that you work with the people that you know or you don't know. But let's say it's better to work with people that you know. Why? Because when you have a little bit time to, for example, to talk about the project, for
Right.
example, with actors or with a DP, with a cameraman, or with every important part of the crew, you need
So,
not only, yeah, it's a process. It's not a
yes.
process in one day. It takes some time. It means that I think that the best way is